Rotimi Fakayejo, trader at the Nigerian Stock Exchange and CEO Enterprise Capital, joins me now. Good morning to you, Rotimi.
Good morning, Harry.
It's great to have you on the show today. Let's start with one of the biggest news this morning for some of the companies that have gotten approval to bid from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, that is Forte Oil, Total, as well as Eternal Oil, and MRS as well. Tell us, how do you expect this to impact on the share price of this equities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange?
What I think is a good development for the companies mentioned, and incidentally, they are all listed on the exchange. And I think with this new development, we're definitely going to have a positive influence. They're going to have a positive influence on the prices, because what it implies is that they're going to have to do more business, and that implies more profit and higher dividends for investors in the future. So definitely the price will be impacted this time around, especially for a stock like MRS that has been stagnant at about 49 naira for quite a while. So now I think it's going to get to another level. And I want to believe that since for this that they're going to do, definitely investors will take a closer look at this stock, and they begin to take more position in them.
All right, so we'll keep our eye on those stocks. But give us your perspectives on trading in the last 4 days at the Nigerian equities market. Yesterday, we saw the market literally clawing back some marginal gain of 0.02%. But just talk to us about how the market has been for you as an operator.
Well, I think it's not really been an exciting one looking at it from this week. And I think, but for yesterday, the market eventually was able to break it in and close positively, even as that change was very marginal. My expectation with respect to what has been happening is that if history was to repeat itself, then we started seeing the market move up at about this very day last year. So there's so much expectation, and between that period of December 18, 2014 to December 31st, 2014, the index moved from about 30,000 to 34,000 basis points. So that's a wide margin within a very short time. That's about 12%, 13%. So I want to believe that now that the market is the position of the index is much lower than what we saw last year, then definitely, even if we don't get to 34, at least the market should be able to cover the gap and get to about 30,000. So we are expecting the movement to start from today if history was to repeat itself as relative to what we saw in year 2014.
So, Rotimi, which equities particularly stood out for you this week?
Well, for this week, I think the good news that came with respect to a Tiger brand, that is, at least we saw that company coming down significantly, and the good news came with respect to Dangote making a re-entry back into the company. Then also for this other good news that is coming forth with respect to Forte Oil, MRS, Total, and Eternal Oil. And I think those ones are really going to have a sway on investors. But there is still a particular security which I'm expecting a good movement in, and that is Zenith Bank. The price has been battered so much, and I want to believe that the selling pressure that has been on that company may begin to recede maybe by today, since we didn't see much of a change yesterday, just a marginal change of less than 20 kobo. So I want to believe that those stocks are actually literally caught my attention. I believe that we may begin to see something very positive with respect to them in the coming week.
What about today? What are your expectations for today's session, looking at the information that investors will have to be digesting, particularly for most of those oil and gas stocks listed on the exchange?
Well, I think this one, the market leans so much on this kind of information, and these are the kind of things that actually move the market at any point in time. So when good news like this comes with respect to a particular sector of the market, it definitely will rub off positively on other sectors. So I want to believe that today, I'm also coinciding with the same date that the market started moving up last year. I believe that the market should close more strongly than we did today.
Well, thank you so much, Rotimi, for your perspectives this morning. Do have a profitable day and a great weekend.